Anthony Scaramucci, the former Wall Street financier turned White House communications director, was fired by President Donald Trump after only 10 days on the job. And that's a new White House world record. Welcome back to What's Trending. I'm Adam Bozarth. Yes, before we could grow to love him or hate him, the mooch was hired and fired by the Donald. So who was this guy? Scaramucci began his career as an investment banker for Goldman Sachs working on Wall Street. In 2005, Scaramucci founded Skybridge Capital, an investment firm he ran until January 2017. Scaramucci sold Skybridge Capital in order to join the Trump White House, but he was blocked by Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. So, cut to July 21st, Anthony Scaramucci is hired as White House Communications Director. Press Secretary and Reince Priebus' only friend at work, Sean Spicer, resigned out of protest. And then Scaramucci introduced himself to the world.
Reince and I have been personal friends for 6 years. We are a little bit like brothers, where we rough each other up once in a while, which is totally normal for brothers.
Like brothers, Mooch has a funny nickname for Reince. The Daily Beast reports Scaramucci has privately called Priebus Reince Penis for years. Scaramucci, though, loves Trump. Like, loves Trump.
This is an opportunity for me to serve the country. I love the president. I like the team. Let me rephrase that. I love the team. But here's what I tell you about the president. He's the most competitive person I've ever met. Okay, I've seen this guy throw a dead spiral through a tire. I've seen him at Madison Square Garden with a top coat on. He's standing in the key and he's hitting foul shots and swishing them, okay? Thank you.
Obviously, the man loves Trump, but he's lost more than his business to get close to him. After his first week as communications director, Scaramucci's wife, Deidre Ball Scaramucci, filed for divorce. Days later, Ball gave birth to their son while Scaramucci was with President Trump at the Boy Scout Jamboree. The mooch's primary job was to find who was leaking information to the press from the White House. Mooch suspected Reince Priebus, but he needed something concrete. So Scaramucci decided that the best plan was to call up reporters and ask them to give up their anonymous sources. Scaramucci called New Yorker reporter Ryan Lizza and asked him to confirm Reince Priebus was leaking to the press. Scaramucci also forgot to announce that the conversation was off the record. Scaramucci tried to threaten Lizza and threatened to fire the entire White House communications staff just to get rid of the leaker. I'm gonna fire every one of them, and then you haven't protected anybody, Scaramucci taunted Lizza, so the entire place will be fired over the next 2 weeks. As Lizza refused to name names, Scaramucci went on an expletive-laden tirade. What I want to do is I want to f***ing kill all the leakers, and I want to get the president's agenda on track so we can succeed for the American people. The swamp will not defeat him, Scaramucci said, talking about himself. They're trying to resist me, but it's not gonna work. I've done nothing wrong on my financial disclosures, so they're gonna have to go f*** themselves. Reince Priebus is a f***ing paranoid schizophrenic, a paranoiac. Mocking Reince, Scaramucci said, "Oh, former Fox News exec Bill Shine is coming in for dinner with Trump. Let me leak the f***ing thing so I can block these people the way I blocked Scaramucci for 6 months." The most bizarre part of the rant targeted Trump advisor Steve Bannon. While trying to say he has no interest in media attention, Scaramucci said, "I'm not Steve Bannon. I'm not trying to suck my own cock. I'm not trying to build my own brand off the f***ing strength of the president. I'm here to serve the country." Good Lord, is that what Steve Bannon's doing all day?
I want to keep my head in the game, I want to keep my ego low, and I want to work with Steve Bannon as closely as I possibly can. I have a huge...
Stop. When the New Yorker story broke, Scaramucci tried to present himself as the victim of a journalist's cruel trick. "I made a mistake in trusting a reporter. It won't happen again." Okay, there is so much wrong with just this tweet. This is the White House communications director speaking. His job is to work with the media to further the president's agenda. Scaramucci is asking a reporter to give up an anonymous source so he can fire them. That's exactly why journalists keep their sources anonymous. Asking to give up the source isn't illegal, but it's highly unethical. I know, we're used to highly unethical, big deal. But the trust that Scaramucci says is broken between him and Lizza is that a reporter wouldn't report on the unethical doings of somebody who works at the White House. And if it seems like the mooch doesn't know how to do his job, well, it's because he doesn't. His only qualification is that he loves the president.
I love the president.
Well, love the president. Sorry, Mooch, you got Chris Christie'd. And after only 10 days on the job, Donald Trump abruptly removed Scaramucci from his job as communications director. The mooch's time with us was short, very short, like physically impossibly short. Jeff B tweets, Scaramucci's official start date as White House Communications Director was August 15th. It's July 31st. That's gotta be some kind of record. John Favreau writes, I'm still laughing at the fact that Mooch was fired before his official start date, the only White House staffer in history to serve for negative days. In his negative time, he was also the victim of an email scandal. A prankster from the UK sent fake emails to many folks connected to the Trump White House. The prankster posed as Priebus and taunted Scaramucci over email. The very real Scaramucci responded, you know what you did, we all do, even today, but rest assured, we were prepared, a man would apologize. This is the day before he got fired. So now the White House is missing the adorably inept Sean Spicer, the Republican Party's voice in Donald Trump's ear, Reince Priebus, and this fun new Fonzie character, Anthony Scaramucci. All gone! John Cooper tweeted, this pic was taken outside the White House fence today shortly after the Mooch was given the boot. And even though Scaramucci technically never happened, he will always have a special place in history. Grace Parra writes, I can't believe I'm saying this, but every Kim Kardashian marriage has lasted longer than Scaramucci's time as White House Communications Director. And Andrea Thompson jokes, between being canned this week and his wife filing for divorce last week, Scaramucci is one dead dog away from becoming a country music song. But Simpsons geeks like me will see a resemblance to another beloved short-lived character. @Beef tweets, I have to go now. My planet needs me. Moochie died on the way back to his home planet. So what do you think of the Mooch? Let us know in the comments section below, and please like and subscribe for more of what's trending.